Hi everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about all things preparation, and so frugal and simple preparation for travel, for retirement, for holidays. This has kind of been the theme in my life right now, and I thought I'd go over what we're doing and what's been going on. I've been a little bit missing in action because I have been trying to help my husband with our business, and we're wrapping up our busy season. But I do have a lot going on, and I sometimes feel like we're bleeding money, and there's reasons for that. But when I do that, I have to try to rein it back in because I actually do better when simplicity often for me means having less choices. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing. So first of all, let's start with retirement preparation. We are trying to retire in 18 months roughly, anywhere from 2 years and 3 months to a year and a half. It just kind of depends. We are following the year, there's called a rule of 55, where you can tap your investments. My husband didn't have any investments, but my husband had pension and Social Security. My husband is drawing his pension now. It's $1,047 a month, and then he'll have Social Security, which should be around $24,000 a year. I did invest. I started investing with my ex-husband when I was 29. And so I had a little bit when we divorced, and I have been slowly adding to that over the years. There were some years as a single mama, I couldn't put anything in it. But as I have made more, I have tried to put more and more in it. So at any rate, we're trying to get to a point where what we live on today will have to live on in the future. And so that means we have lived on 30 to 40% of our income for the past 6 years. We actually started doing that a little earlier. When we first met, there wasn't anything extra. It took us both about 3 years to get out of debt, and then all the money that was going to debt went into investments once we got to what I would call comfortable middle class lifestyle. Jim and I had to be frugal for the sake of being frugal. It wasn't a choice. The things that we did as single parents, I had 4 kids at home, he had 1. They were because we had to, and we were low income earners. Sometimes you have to earn more, and sometimes you have to spend less, but it's usually a combination of both. You can't just, people say all the time, how can I become financially independent on a low income? Well, you generally have to earn more money, and you have to figure out, and you might have to make your needs less. I was kind of a middle of the income earner by the time we got married, and I was able to, my plan before we got married was, if we didn't get married, not to say that we just didn't know. Things were rough with having so many kids. There were 5, but we have 6 total, but there were 5 at home. Was to sell my big house when my kids grew up, buy a small house. I had already gotten myself out of debt. I had already started to have a large emergency fund, and I had a small investment. So my plan was to work, to continue to save, and just know that eventually I would be in a better spot, than if I had debt and all these trappings of American lifestyle. So what we've been doing is we have been spending some money getting our cars, just keeping our cars in tip-top shape. Like my husband had the front end done on his car. He's having it's not really an oil leak that's causing a problem, except it's burning oil. So we're gonna go ahead and have that gasket replaced. They said we could live with it, but we want to keep our truck going for a while after. We don't want to have to replace it. Trucks are expensive. We're having a lot of dental work done. Jim and I live in an area where there is no fluoride in the water, and so our teeth tend to be a little bit more fragile, even though we don't eat sugar or anything like that. We both needed a bunch of crowns because of dental work we had when we were children. So between us, that was like 7 crowns. So we're getting all of our dental work done. We're having our house painted right now. We're having our Airbnb painted. I had saved the money in the Airbnb to pay for that. We've saved for the house. We're getting all the repairs done on the farm. And all of this is in preparation. While we're making extra money, we're getting prepared for when we're not making extra money, just so we can delay those things into the future further. We don't want to go into retirement needing car repairs and the house painted and maintenance and things like that. The next thing is we are saving to build a building. My husband has sourced We're taking a metal roof off a house today, and they gave us the metal. That will be the metal on the roof. We found some metal siding that someone is giving us. We're building a new like storage area, like a big shop. And so the siding was brown, the roof was green, which matches our house. So we'll be doing that. And then we are also in continuing to invest. I am waiting for the Fed to meet to see if they raise interest rates. And if they do, I'm going to move some money from savings into CDs. It's paying about 5.5% right now. And that extra money we make on CDs will help fund our life in addition to pension and Social Security until I am 55 or 59 and a half, whenever we need it, so that we can draw off our investments. If you leave your job when you're 55, not before the year of 55, but 55 or after, if your job ends, which we will close our business, then you can draw on your investments 4.5 years earlier. I don't think I finished that thought earlier. So those are things we're doing to prepare for upcoming retirement. It scares me a lot more than it scares my husband, because I know once we turn off that flowing faucet of our business, because it's going to be a lot to close our business down. I don't think my husband really realizes it, because I'm the office person, he's out in the field, but I'm the one that handles all the money and the legalities of everything. But it's going to be like turning off a flowing faucet, and then we're going to have to start drawing from savings. So that scares the bejeebers out of me, honestly. Travel. I am about to travel to Colorado. I don't know if you all have been watching the news with all the bed bugs in Paris and London, but it's an epidemic here as well. And they're calling for it to be a worse epidemic. I have known several people who have fought them, and these are clean people. There is a very nice assisted living here that is having a really big problem with them. And I myself, I've never had them, but we stayed at a very nice hotel. We were in like the presidential suite, and we woke up to them. Luckily, we had not brought all of our stuff in, and I had left it on the tile floor. But we were able, this is a couple years ago, we were able to call our friend who's an exterminator. We threw all of our stuff away, took showers, cleaned and sprayed everything with pesticides, left it in a hot car. Luckily, it was summer. Stripped down when we got home, put all of that in bags out in the car to get 120 degrees. We lost about $1,400 worth of stuff. And luckily, I was already prepared. I want to tell people this because I feel like you need to take it seriously. We had already wrapped all of our beds in bed bug proof pillowcases and mattress cases, our box springs, our mattresses and pillows, because of having an Airbnb. And then I provide metal luggage racks for all of our guests. And then we just don't have a lot of clutter. I'm minimalist anyway. It may not look it. I don't have that aesthetic, but I'm very much don't like clutter. So those are things you can do to reduce bringing them in your house. I also pack all of my stuff in plastic baggies. I get large bags from Walmart or Amazon, and I put all my clothes, everything, shoes, toiletries in there. I spray my suitcase with a bed bug repellent, and then when I have 2 of everything. So when I come home, I will not bring my luggage in. I will leave it in the car until I can go out there and treat it. I know it sounds extreme, but we had that experience. It was caused extreme PTSD. And then my husband went to a horse camp and was going to rent a cabin. And I said, check for bed bugs. And sure enough, there were bed bugs. So you guys take this seriously, because it is getting really bad in the United States. It's on the news all the time. So that's what I'm doing to prepare for travel. I don't want to get them on the plane. I also carry, I know I sound crazy, but I also carry alcohol in a little 2-ounce bottle, and you can spray yourself down after riding on an airplane seat or public transportation. But you should check your rental car. Try to look at your airplane seat if you can. They're supposed to wipe them down. I don't believe that they do. And, as much as you can prepare. It is costly to put the mattress and pillowcase covers on, but do it if you can afford it, and if you can, get rid of wooden furniture around your bedroom. So I'm not going to go into whole bed bug removal, because I haven't dealt with that, but I do know about it. But that is one thing I'm doing to prepare to pack, as well as traveling layered clothing. So I have pants, t-shirts, sweatshirts, a sweater, and a coat that I'm taking with me, because the temperatures are going to be as low as the 40s at night and as high as the 70s and 80s during the day. So I also got my TSA pre-check. I knew I would be traveling to Colorado often because of my family. So I spent I think it was $80, and I go straight through TSA pre-check. It saves me a lot of time, which means I don't have to stand in the long lines. And I've got the app. I do my boarding pass on my phone. So you just scan everything. It's so much easier and faster. You don't have to keep up with all the papers. Just make sure your phone is charged. And then I'm doing the car rental app on my phone this time, so I can check in on my phone. So all of that helps. I also use my Chase Sapphire Preferred to book my car rental, because there is extra protection and insurance and travel insurance when you use the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now, I book my flights on my Southwest card because I get extra points for those. So those are just extra preparation for travel. My sons, oh my gosh, they have jacked tickets up so high for Christmas. My son and his family, the only time they could come home was December 26th through the 31st. Tickets were $1,100 when I looked at them, and I had enough points to pay for all of it. By the time we booked it, which was 3 months in advance, they'd gone up to $1,800. So ended up having to pay half of it. But getting, like I said, if you travel a lot, getting a Southwest card or a Chase Sapphire Preferred, if you have good credit, I highly recommend. The next thing is prepping for the holidays and the fall season. I took my kids to the pumpkin patch the other day, my grandchild and my daughter and her husband, and it was so much fun. It was $34 for all four of us to go with. That was with buying snacks and drinks for them. And it was just, I highly recommend it. Even as adults, just going and watching the children. Boy, pumpkin patches have come a long way. They had a petting zoo, slides, a zip line, swings, a hayride. It was fun. But it made me realize, like, they didn't have any kettle corn or apple cider. So I did pick up apple cider, healthy versions of hot cocoa, some 100-calorie bags of kettle corn. Bringing in food for the holidays that is healthier versions. So the best way to break a bad habit is with a substitute good habit. So this morning I did a pumpkin cinnamon smoothie. Then I just veganized the recipe, switched out dairy yogurt for soy yogurt, switched out regular milk for plant milk. You get the picture. Pumpkin, apple, squash, cinnamon. These are all flavors of fall. So starting to cook with those flavors. I don't know if you can see, but like I have some of the windows open. I have twinkle lights back here. I don't know if this is dangerous. I have a candle burning. I buy only soy or beeswax candles, nothing that's toxic. My air filter, you may be able to actually hear it. If you burn like a Walmart cheap candle, it will turn red, letting you know that the air is dirty. So, and I took a class from the Seventh-day Adventist about clean air. They recommended not burning candles at all, or only beeswax or soy candles. So I have asthma, so that's what we do now. The other thing I'm doing is I'm starting to clean out my clothes, my drawers, my pillows, my towels, anything like that that I can give away or donate. Selling my clothes that I no longer need or donating them. That always makes me feel good going into a season that feels so excessive. And I'm asking my family what they want this year or what they need. And I'm not doing any shopping that is not a need or a want. At least I'm gonna try. Sometimes they're really bad about not telling me what they want or need. And that's really frustrating. So I'm just gonna ask them, what do you want? What do you need? How can we help? I myself made a list of what I like for the holidays. And that is, the things I like during the holidays are, there's a beautiful grand old majestic hotel where I live. I love going down there, listening to music, looking at the big gingerbread house. The chefs do it every year. I love going to look at lights, watch holiday movies, play games with my family. My youngest son loves board games. He always buys new board games and brings them over, and we have game night. I love watching, you know, just holiday specials and listening to holiday music. I have reduced my decorations to the tree and just a few sentimental decorations that I put around the house. I keep twinkle lights up all year long. I just do white. Years ago, I always wanted a silver antique tree, and I found one. It's not antique, but I found it at Walmart of all places, and I absolutely love it. It is, I don't have to take it apart. We literally haul it up to the attic and bring it down, put the stuff on. We've reduced how much stuff we have at Christmas, and I love that. I am asking if anyone asks me for consumables or experiences or things that I actually need. Honestly, I was telling my mom, like, I love like getting socks or a new hat or a pair of mittens. I love getting like coffees or teas or soaps and things like that. So those things are consumable or small. And I love just experiences. There is a beautiful garden here, like a, I don't know what you call it. It's an outdoor garden, and they do a huge Christmas thing every year. I love going to that, but it's expensive. So when my family comes to visit, we'll go do that. I think it's about $20 a person. That will be something I do for them. It's not for me just about reducing the cost of Christmas, which I do want to do that because we will not be able going forward to do that once we're retired, or it would make me more nervous to do it because we have 28 immediate family members, and that is children, grandchildren, parents, and siblings. And so that's a lot. And if you do something for everyone, it really adds up. And my husband's family is very giving. They love to gift and give. And sometimes they just give something that is like, they are thoughtful, but a lot of times it's like home decor that we don't need or use. And but sometimes it's great. Like my sister-in-law gave me these wonderful soup cups, and I just love them. But I really want less, and every year I try to communicate that with my family in a way. Y'all, that's a struggle. How do you communicate with your family about the holidays? What do y'all do? I know about like the Secret Santa and the Dirty Santa and all of that. But it's hard to shift from being the mama that was in charge of all the gifts for the kids to I'm like the host of the whole Christmas, Thanksgiving stuff. And it's a lot of work, but we have like we have the home that's the most conducive to having big gatherings because we live on a farm, and if it's nice, you can be outside. Everybody loves coming here. Our house isn't that big, but so I'm just trying to figure out ways to make it. Every year I'm trying to like, how can I make this less stressful? And every year I feel like it's not less stressful. The best year we had, honestly, was during the pandemic when I was able to put a bunch of tables and chairs outside, light a bonfire. It just happened to be a beautiful, luckily Christmas and Thanksgiving were warm enough that day to be outside, and it was so much fun, and I'm trying to replicate that if the weather holds out. So that's what we're doing for travel, for retirement. This is a long video, and for the holidays. Share your preparation tips with me down below, what you're doing. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you. Please like and subscribe if you found value. Bye-bye.